Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa la thumma ma ba'd. We'll continue our class in reading and commenting on the fatawa of Sheikh Muqbil bin Hadi al-Wad'i, rahimahullah ta'ala, in regards to questions from the women. Al-Fatawa al-Wad'iyya ala al-As'ila al-Nisa'iyya. As always, before we start, we take a couple of questions from the sisters. May Allah preserve them and protect them. One of the sisters, and for those who are asking, how do they ask questions? How do they send questions? Inshallah, our brothers, our noble brothers at Sunnah scene, may Allah reward them with good. May Allah reward them abundantly. They have on their channel, on Sunnah Scene channel, they have you'll find on those videos, they have a link to a Telegram group, and that Telegram group is for sisters only, as far as I understand, and the sister can join that group and she can send questions. Now, perhaps another option is to comment on any of the videos with the questions. Inshallah, that would be okay as well. Na'am, barakallahu fikum. So one sister, she asked, right now mosques are open for public. What if men do not perform Jum'ah prayer in the mosque due to being afraid of COVID infection, as it may infect their family members? We say, barakallahu fikum, in regards to that, the Jum'ah is obligatory upon the men. The Jum'ah prayer is obligatory upon the men. And it is permissible to miss Jum'ah prayer in cases of a valid excuse, such as the person being ill and unable to go and attend Jum'ah prayer. And it is also permissible to miss Jum'ah prayer if during special occasions, such as a person is being afraid of an illness, or people being afraid of an illness. However, this is not left for people's interpretations. And with this, a person should ask a trustworthy doctor, or should follow the guidelines as set by the rulers, or whatever health organization is responsible for making those recommendations. So if a person, for example, and this is in Muslim countries, if the Muslim government, for example, they say that people should not go and attend Jum'ah prayers, and that there should not be a Jum'ah prayer held, then in this case it is upon the Muslims to obey in this case. However, one should not go on his own, or one should not give his own opinion regarding these matters and say that he does not want to go to the Jum'ah prayer because of being afraid of catching some disease. Unless, like I said, a trustworthy doctor says that this is the case, meaning that he is at risk of something specific, then in this case, it is permissible for him to miss Jum'ah prayer. However, in regards to COVID, with the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His mercy, COVID is over, as far as we know. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, the people are back to normal, and there's with the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this trial, this tribulation that befell the people has been lifted, and COVID is over, and people have been going to work and to the jama'at and Jum'ah, praying Salat al-Jum'ah, praying in congregation, and other than that, and with the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it no longer is an issue. So unless the person has a very specific condition that his doctor tells him that he should not go and he should not attend, then if this is the case, and the doctor is trustworthy, is a Muslim and trustworthy, then he should take his advice in regards to this matter. And perhaps he should ask more than one doctor, just to verify and confirm. However, barakallahu fikum, this is not something that the person should give a ruling on his own. One should not give a ruling on his own. And especially the case, in regards to this brother, or those brothers who might say that they don't want to attend Jum'ah prayer. The question is, do they go to work? Do they go shopping? Do they buy things for their families and therefore for their households? If they do, then why is that okay? And going to the Jum'ah is not okay. Then we fear barakallahu fikum, as we've seen with many people, wallah al-musta'an, is that it came as an excuse for them to miss Jumu'ah and Jama'at, and this should not be the case. Barakallahu fikum. This should not be the case, and the Muslim should do all due diligence to attend the Jumu'ah, for the men, the Jumu'ah and the Jama'at, and should not find an excuse to miss them. So that depends, like I said, on the situation. If the person's doctor, trustworthy doctor, because of a specific condition that he or his family has, he tells him that he should not be amongst people, he should not go to marketplaces, and he should not go to work, and he should not go to pray Jumu'ah, then in that case, Allah al-Musta'an, may Allah give him and give his family good health and remove whatever condition that they have. And in that case, barakallahu fikum, then he should listen to his doctor. If this is not the case, then one should not look for excuses as to miss, unless it is a legitimate excuse. However, this is not a legitimate excuse, meaning to say that there's COVID and possibility of catching COVID, especially if the person, like I said, he goes to work and he goes to marketplaces and he does shopping and he goes to, other than that, perhaps he sits in social gatherings, and then when it comes to Jumu'ah, Allah al-Musta'an, we've seen some brothers who they say, no, we're afraid of COVID, and so they want to miss praying in congregation because of COVID, but then they don't want to leave off their social gatherings and whatever it is, whatever else they do. Then this is merely making excuses not to attend Jumu'ah, Wallah al-Musta'an, or not to attend the Jumu'ah prayer, Wallah al-Musta'an. So another sister, she asked, what are the conditions for the man if he refuses to perform Jama'ah? I'm assuming either Jumu'ah or Jama'ah. I'm not sure, it is not clear. I think it's Jama'ah, congregational prayers, musallas, residence, and forbid families because of the imam and its committee members are tabligh group and did not follow the Sunnah. So this is in regards to a brother who does not attend the Jama'ah, I'm assuming it is Jama'ah, or perhaps Jumu'ah, in a specific musalla, because the imam and the administration of that musalla or that place, or that masjid, are from Jama'at al-Tabligh. So the brother, he misses the Jama'ah. We say in regards to that, barakallahu fikum, first of all, the aqeedah and the way of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah is that they pray behind, is that we consider the prayer to be valid behind any imam who is righteous or is sinner. However, when it comes to the people of innovation and people who have innovation in them, then they are of two types. There's bid'ah mukaffira wa bid'ah ghayr mukaffira. There's an innovation that removes the person out of the fold of Islam, and there's an innovation that does not remove the person out of the fold of Islam. As for those who have an innovation that does not remove the person out of the fold of Islam, then prayer behind them is valid and is correct. And it is not permissible for the person to miss the congregational prayer because the imam has a bid'ah that is not mukaffira, an innovation that does not remove him out of the fold of Islam. This is one thing to understand. If the imam has bid'ah mukaffira, an innovation that does remove the person out of the fold of Islam, then his condition, barakallahu fikum, is one of two. Either that he has been advised, so this brother, he went and advised him, and he spoke to him, and he made matters clear to him, and he established the proof upon him, and he insists upon his bid'ah mukaffira, his innovation that removes him out of the fold of Islam, such as that he supplicates to other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or that he supplicates to the deceased, or he prostrates to other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or he slaughters to other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this brother, he advised him, and he spoke to him, or the people of knowledge advised him and spoke to him, and established the proof upon him, and he insists upon doing those acts of worship to other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then in this case, this imam, the brother is not supposed to pray behind this imam. Now, in regards to establishing the rule of disbelief upon him, then this is a different matter. Establishing the rule of disbelief or the rule of shirk upon an individual, this is a different matter. It has conditions, and it is a lengthy matter, and it is not for the general people to go and establish such rulings upon the people. However, he knows this imam supplicates to other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the brother, he collects some of evidences, some proofs from the Quran and the Sunnah, and he goes and he talks to him and advises him against what he is doing, and he insists upon worshipping other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, upon this action of worship, this act of worship to other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then the brother is not supposed to pray behind him anymore, because of this bid'ah mukaffira, this innovation that removes the person out of the fold of Islam. So, in either case, meaning that he has a bid'ah in general, whether it is mukaffira or ghayr mukaffira, whether it is an innovation that removes the person out of the fold of Islam or does not remove the person out of the fold of Islam. If the person has the option to go to a masjid where that is the imam of which is from Sunnah wal Jama'ah, is someone who follows the companions, may Allah be pleased with them, and likewise that it is the administration, it is under the administration of people who are Sunnah, people who are upon the Salafiyya and upon the way of the righteous predecessors, then the person should not leave that masjid, meaning the masajid of Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and go and pray behind the tablighi, such as for example because he has a good voice. As we hear from some brothers, this is not correct. This is not correct, and rather one should be diligent in being with Sunnah wal Jama'ah. So this is one thing to understand. Another thing, barakallahu fikum, is that when it comes to the prayer in such place, meaning place that is held, that is controlled by the people of at-tabligh or other than them from the people of innovation, if the person, that's what he has available, this is the only place that is close to him, this is the only masjid or musalla that is close to his place of residence, and in order for him to go to Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, it is a long way, and it is out of his way, and it is a burden, then he goes and prays, and with the conditions that we mentioned earlier, the imam does not have bid'ah mukaffira, an innovation that removes him out of the fold of Islam. However, what does he do? He goes and prays and leaves. He does not sit with them, does not sit and attend their classes and attend their gatherings. This should not be the case of the person who is upon the Sunnah. He should not sit with the people of innovation. He should not attend their classes and attend their gatherings, and rather he should pray the obligatory prayer, the congregational prayer, and leave. Now, and in regards to Jum'ah, then it is best that he tries to go to Masajid Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah so that he does not listen to the people of innovation. No one wants to listen to the people of innovation and harm his deen and harm his aqeedah. Rather, it should be a goal that everyone has to keep his aqeedah intact and to keep his aqeedah correct and to keep his aqeedah upon the way of the Salaf radiyallahu anhum. And so by attending the congregational prayers with the people of innovation, there's no doubt that one might end up catching some innovations and some falsehood and some wrong beliefs, and so one should avoid doing so, and rather, even if it means that one has to drive a little bit, then I do advise the brothers that they only attend, if they are able to, of course, that they only attend Jumu'ah with Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, behind an imam who is upon the Sunnah. Wallahu musta'an. Now, as to go back to our book, Barakallahu Feekum, We will continue in the book, and we're still in the chapter regarding fatawa, answers connected to matters of seeking knowledge from the sisters. So a sister asked, إذا لم يوجد للمرأة من يعلمها دينها في البيت. So if a woman was not able to find someone who would teach her her religion in her house, ونهاها زوجها عن الخروج, and her husband forbade her from leaving, أتمتنع أم تخرج? Does she leave? أتمتنع, does she not go to seek knowledge? Or does she leave? ولا طاعة له في هذا, and that she does not obey him in that. She does not obey him in regards to his command for her not to leave to seek knowledge. We previously mentioned, barakallahu fikum, the answer by Sheikh Muqbil rahimahullah, that from a sister who said that her husband does not mind her leaving, and he allows her to leave, and she's free to leave, to go. However, he wants her to go, for example, to social gatherings and things of that nature, but does not want her to go to seek knowledge. And Sheikh Muqbil, he said, the problem is that if she goes and she goes to the places of seeking knowledge, it might cause problems between him and her. And other than that, now the husband does not even want her to leave, does not want her to leave the house. So al-Sheikh rahimahullah, he said, الذي أنصحها أن تمتنع من الخروج. My advice to her is that she does not leave. She does not leave the house. والله سبحانه وتعالى يجعل لها فرجا ومخرجا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make ease for her. وأن تكتب إلى من ينصحه بأن يأذن لها بالخروج إلى طلب العلم. And that she should write to someone who would advise him to allow her to go to seek knowledge. So she would write, for example, to someone he respects, to a student of knowledge, or someone from the people of knowledge, who would be able to advise him, advise her husband, to allow her to go and seek knowledge. قال وهي تخرج من فضل ربي إلى مسجد النساء تحت الأرض لا يرين أحدا ولا يراهن أحد. Sheikh rahimahullah is referring to the place where he used to teach, to his own masjid rahimahullah. He said, and when she leaves to seek knowledge, she's going with the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the masjid of the women, to the place of the women. And he said it is underground, meaning that it was in the basement. The masjid of Sheikh Muqbil rahimahullah, the first floor was for the men, and then they had the basement prepared for the women. So he said, no, she does not see anyone and no one sees her. She does not see anyone and no one sees her. Alhamdulillah, with the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, likewise are the masajid of the Muslims in general. In most places, there's a place, the women's area is separate from the men's area. So, if the husband allows his wife to go and attend the classes and sit and benefit from the classes of knowledge, usually she is sitting in a place that is separate for the women. قال وأيضا ولا يراهن أحد وأيضا فاضلات. He said, furthermore, she is with righteous women. أسأل الله أن يبارك فيهن. I ask Allah to bless in them. نعم. قال لا يحببن أن يراهن أحد. Meaning those righteous women that this woman goes to sit with in order to seek knowledge, they are righteous women who also do not want the men to see them. قال فهي في مسجدها ها هنا تتعلم من فضل الله وأصبحنا مستفيدات. He said, so she is here in the masjid with the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She is learning, and some of the women, they became strong students of knowledge. ويعلم الله أنهن بعض الأوقات يضحكن من إجابات بعض إخواننا إذا سألت إخواننا عن بعض الأسئلة. So, meaning, Shaykh rahimahullah, he said that sometimes they are more knowledgeable than the men. The sisters sometimes are more knowledgeable than the men. He said, sometimes I would ask the brothers questions as to test them, and some of the sisters, he was informed that some of the sisters get to the point of laughing from that they know the answers more than the brothers. قال عندهن معلومات, they have knowledge. وعندهن خير من فضل الله, they have goodness with the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. والبركة هي بيد الله سبحانه وتعالى, and the blessing is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. نعم. قال أسأل الله أن يحفظ مدرستهن أو مدرساتهن. I ask Allah to preserve and protect their teachers, their teacher or their teachers, the sisters who used to teach يعني at the time of al-Sheikh Muqbil rahimahullah. قال وأن يدفع عنها كل سوء ومكروه, and to protect her from every evil. قال فعندهن خير بحمد الله. So they have a lot of goodness with the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as we mentioned before in many of the classes before, alhamdulillah, nowadays it is possible for the sisters to seek knowledge in their own houses without leaving, without taking a step outside their house. Now, alhamdulillah, if they are able to go and sit with good sisters, righteous sisters, students of knowledge, and read books together and study and teach one another, then there is no doubt that this is a great bounty from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the conditions that al-Sheikh rahimahullah mentioned, that they are amongst good sisters, that they are in a place where they are not seen by the men and they are not heard by the men. So they sit by themselves and they read books and they study books, and with the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, some of the sisters become strong students of knowledge. There is no doubt about that, barakallahu feekum, that some of the sisters become strong students of knowledge. They study and they learn and they study the books and they go over the books multiple times and they take notes and they are serious about studying and about seeking knowledge, and some of them become strong students of knowledge. Some of them become very qualified to teach their sisters and also to teach their children and to answer questions by the sisters. And there's no doubt that this is the case with many of the sisters. May Allah preserve them and protect them and increase them in everything that is good. قال الشيخ رحمه الله قال فأنا أنصح الأخ الذي يمنع أهله إذا كان غيورا عليها. He said, I recommend for the brother, my advice to the brother, if he does not want her to go and leave to go and attend the classes of knowledge because of jealousy, because he is jealous, قال فالغيرة من الدين. He said, there is no doubt that jealousy is from the religion. قال يصحبها من المزرعة. He said, he brings her forth from the farm. Or from the area called al-Mazra'. This is where most of the residents, where Sheikh Muqbil rahimahullah, where his center was and where his Masjid was, or the school that he had, Dar al-Hadith rahimahullah, where he had, they had a place of residence that is called al-Mazra'. It is a little farther from the center, and then they had the center, which is Dar al-Hadith. The school and the Masjid, that center used to be in the middle of the town, or of the village, I should say. And then the brothers lived in the surrounding areas. The families and the brothers and the sisters, they live in the surrounding areas. So he said, bring her from the place of residence, from the student's residence. Bring her. She doesn't have to leave and come by herself. Bring her from that place. إلى أن يوصلها إلى الباب, until she reaches the door. Bring her to the door of the center. ويستقبلها من الباب, and he takes her from the door. Alhamdulillah, this is something that is easy. The brother, if he is jealous, he has jealousy, and the jealousy is from the religion, there's no doubt, then he can bring her to the Masjid and pick her up from the Masjid, so she would be able to seek knowledge and study, and at the same time she would be with him. When she is not in the Masjid, she is with him. قال ويأخذها معه إلى المزرعة وهذا أمر طيب. He said, this is something that is good. ونحن نشجعه على الغيرة. He said, we encourage him to have jealousy over his wife في حدود الكتاب والسنة, with the boundaries of the book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم. قال أما أن تتغرب مع زوجها ثلاث سنوات أو 4 سنوات أو 5 سنين ثم ترجع وهي لا تعرف شيئا من دينها. He said, as for her to actually travel with her husband, because many of the students, barakallahu feekum, we should understand that many of the students at the time of Sheikh Muqbil in Dammaj, they used to travel, and most of them were not actually residents of the village where he used to teach. They were not residents of that place, or they were not from the people of that area, but rather they used to travel from different places and go and reside there for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever is possible, and then return. So he said, as for her to actually leave with her husband, travel with her husband, and live live in that place for several years, and then she would return, and she had not learned anything. This is not befitting. This is not befitting. This is not right. And for the woman to actually travel with her husband, live away from where they are from, in a place where in the beginning, of course, they know no one. They don't know anyone. They go and they live by themselves, and eventually, alhamdulillah, of course, they get to meet people and they get to know one another. However, they leave their places and they leave their towns and their homes and their countries, and they travel to a place in order for the husband to seek knowledge, and then the sister, she sits at home and does not benefit. This is not befitting. Rather, he should take her to the masjid, he is saying, so that she would learn and then return. قال فمسؤولية عظيمة على كاهل زوجها. This is a great responsibility upon her husband. Wallahu al-musta'an, and we seek the help of Allah. Now, and alhamdulillah, as I mentioned repeatedly, barakallahu fikum, nowadays the matter of seeking knowledge is very easy. With the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it has become very easy. And nowadays, a sister can follow channels, as I mentioned before. If she speaks and understands Arabic, then she can follow channels of the mashayikh, of the people of knowledge, from the scholars, from the likes of Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan, Sheikh Abdul Muhsin al-Abbad, Sheikh, and other than them, barakallahu fikum. And I mentioned many of the people of knowledge in the previous classes. And if she does not understand Arabic, then alhamdulillah, with the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there are many channels of trustworthy brothers who run those channels. So she can follow those channels on YouTube and other social media and benefit from them, from the likes of the channel of our brothers at Sunnah Scene, and likewise the brothers at Sunnah Saga. And other than them, barakallahu fikum, that the sister can follow those channels and benefit from the different classes in English or whichever language that she speaks, as long as the channel is run by Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, by people who follow their righteous predecessors. May Allah be pleased with them. And likewise, alhamdulillah, the matter of studying by reading books is also something that is very easy. And I do recommend for the sisters, if they are attending a class and the class is the teacher is going over a book, that the sisters and the brothers, of course, they actually try to buy the book, have the book with them when they are studying the book, and have a notebook ready, take notes. So study seriously, make it serious, and make this something that is a part of your life and a serious part of your life, and do not delay. Barakallahu fikum. Many people, Wallahu musta'an, they delay and they don't gain knowledge because of postponing. I will inshallah study. I will seek knowledge. I will start. No, start today, barakallahu fikum. Start today. Do not delay. Alhamdulillah, the matter of seeking knowledge has become easy. Do not wait until you travel. Whatever it is that you want to travel to seek knowledge, whether it's Saudi Arabia, or Egypt, or whatever it is that you want to travel to seek knowledge, don't wait until you travel. Alhamdulillah, if you're able to, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows you to travel to seek knowledge with the scholars, then alhamdulillah, that is a great bounty from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, if this was not made possible and you're not able to, then alhamdulillah, the matter of seeking knowledge can be done wherever the person is. So by listening to the classes, attending the classes, having the books. Also, if you're not able to buy the book, or you're not able to find the book, alhamdulillah, like I mentioned, nowadays many of the books are available electronically. Download the book, follow with the book, have a notebook ready, take notes, take the matter of seeking knowledge serious, and bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, you find that slowly you collect knowledge. Slowly you have more and more and more knowledge. And many of the sisters, they become students of knowledge, strong students of knowledge. And the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, إِنَّمَا الْعِلْمُ بِالتَّعَلُّمِ. Indeed, knowledge is by seeking knowledge, is by learning. No one is born as a scholar. No one is born with knowledge. And rather, it is a matter that the person collects slowly by listening, attending classes, reading books, researching matters, taking notes, taking this matter seriously. Bi-idhnillah, the person slowly gains knowledge, and then eventually the sisters, they can benefit other sisters. And do not think that, no, this is impossible. Where am I? This is from the whispers of the shaitan. that the shaitan wants us not to seek knowledge, so he will come to you with a trick of, with many tricks, many of the trickeries of the shaitan, and they are known, barakallahu fikum. One of the trickeries of the shaitan is, no, I can't teach. I'm not at that level. I will never be at that level. I will never become a strong student of knowledge. This is from the trickeries of the shaitan, barakallahu fikum. Do not listen to that. Seek knowledge with the intent of, first of all, that this is a worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Seeking nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is without a doubt, seeking knowledge and studying the religion is from the greatest of worship, of the types of worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So seek knowledge, wanting the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the good pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then, barakallahu feekum, also with the intent of removing ignorance from yourself, and with the intent of learning your religion so that you can practice your religion, so you can practice that which you learned. And then, in addition to that, that you can help your sisters, you can help the sisters around you, you can help your family, you can help your children, teach them their religion, raise them upon righteousness and upon understanding the religion, and also helping your husband. You can help your husband, whether directly or indirectly. And if he is a student of knowledge, then of course you seeking knowledge will help him, because when the person is amongst people who are seeking knowledge, he only becomes stronger and he becomes more diligent. Whereas if he is seeking knowledge and he finds his wife that she is negligent of this matter, then he slowly starts losing that traction and starts slowing down. Or if he is not a student of knowledge, that your husband does not seek knowledge, then by you seeking knowledge, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, perhaps when he sees you, he will become encouraged to start studying and seeking knowledge, or at least you can help him understand some of the things in the religion, of course with the right way, because a wife should not act as if she is the teacher of her husband. She should not act this way, but rather she should tell him, can we look into this matter? For example, something that you know that you've studied, and you want him to understand that perhaps he's doing something that is incorrect, he has something that's wrong in him. You can tell him, can we look into this matter? I've heard something, but it's not clear to me. Can you look into it for us? And then see, perhaps that will encourage him to start studying and seeking knowledge. Na'am, barakallahu fikum. So this is some advice in regards to seeking knowledge, in addition to what al-Sheikh rahimahullah has mentioned. And there's, if I'm not mistaken, one more question regarding seeking knowledge, which inshallah we will delay until next class, and then we will go into answers regarding matters of tahara, of purity, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.